Here we have a Gen 2 standard ZK, and we're going to demonstrate the installation of a new hydro belt. If you think about it, the path of it, it can be confusing, but you really have to just think about it in terms of steps. The first step is we need to pass the belt over the top of the idler pulley. I've loosened this nut a little bit so we have some room to get over the top. The second step will be to loop it around the engine. Third step will be loop it around the right side pulley. Because it wraps the least amount around the left pulley, we're going to do that one last. One thing to remember, if you ever are confused about the pathing of a belt, if the engine's spinning the direction of the blades, think about the belt span and that the side that's going into the engine, the tension side, will always be the side without the idler pulley. So first, we're going to loop the belt over the top of the idler pulley. Okay, the next step, we're going to loop it around the engine. Okay, and then third, we're going to go around the right side pulley. And then last, we'll put a breaker bar into the idler arm. Relieve the tension on it. Hook it on the left side pulley last. And there we are. I'm going to turn it just a little bit. Make sure everything feels aligned. And last, I'm going to tighten the bolt for the idler arm. All right, a couple final notes as we look at this belt here. This belt is a 5L section belt, so it's the depth of an A belt, but the height of a B belt. That means that it has a lot of flex life in it as it goes around these pulleys, and the height of it gives the strength of a B pulley. Now, this belt is also made from a special compound, which has much higher temperature limits than most standard belts. And also the cordage that's in the belt, it's not in the traditional location within the height of the belt band. It's at a location that's closer to the center line of the belt, allowing it to flex longer without cracking and whatnot. And on the bottom face of the belt, there's even more cloth here that helps the belt last a lot longer. If you use an off-the-shelf B-section belt in here, it'll work temporarily, but the belt that we spec out here will last many times longer than an off-the-shelf Kevlar corded belt. The other thing is to note is that the earlier Gen 2 ZKs used a different belt that was about an inch longer, and sometimes that belt would stretch or wear in the pulleys and allow the pumps to begin slipping just a little bit. It would show up as sort of chatter under acceleration and sometimes misdiagnosed as a hydro issue. But the countermeasure to that issue is that there's a newer belt, and the part number will be in the description, that is about an inch shorter, and that belt resolves that issue.